Hi, I'm Martina. Welcome to Magnetic Clarity. I'm a kinesiologist. I use tarot to explore downloads that will help us cultivate the life we want.
Hi everyone. So we're going to try something a little bit different today. I'm looking at doing a larger collective message with individual endings. I find that when I do a lot of these readings, we have a lot more in common than we think. And sometimes the collective is healing on a major level and a macro level. And we're all kind of finding our own messages within the micro. So we're going to have a look at what shows up. It's kind of at this stage of general reading, and we'll see where the strongest message comes through. There's going to be 3 individual endings or little mini picker cards at the end. I've already pre-selected the oils. There's also some charms outside of the camera view. Just really want you to tune into your blind intuition, and yeah, let's see what happens. So we're going to start with some major messages, the 3 strongest messages that we can bring through today. And I hope everyone's well. So let's see what we have as a collective. What is the major shift that we can maybe expect to see? What information do we need right now? And card number 1. Okay, so mermaid trapped in a web. Minding the clutch. And bound. It seems like a very strong message of trying to get traction, right? I feel like she is kind of afraid to move, afraid to be caught, afraid to be seen. Minding the clutch. That's working your gears, right? Working your way to get traction. It's getting that movement. It's that like in between stalling the engine and actually getting movement. But then it's kind of also bookmarked by bound. It's almost like, again, quite heavy energy. Maybe there's definitely a message here for all of us. And collectively, when you're thinking about that, I feel like we are in quite a harsh reality at these days, aren't we? We're not really sure how to be seen. There's a lot of judgment out there. There's a lot of cancel culture. There's a lot of, as the collective and the people that I tend to attract, we're all trying to break those molds, right? We're trying to break the paradigm. We're trying to shift that reality of what life has become in the 3D world. We're looking to find some sort of freedom, a freedom for ourselves, a freedom for our own expansion, the freedom to choose whatever life we want to build. And I feel like it gets layered in all of this expectations of others or previous modes or previous codes of conduct. And it's keeping us a little bit suppressed and trapped, right? So it's almost like even the 2 faces here, it's like you have a vision for yourself, but when you kind of mirror that to maybe your neighbor, your friend, your family, they're not receiving the same frequency that you're projecting. They can't see your dreams or your reality as being tangible even. And maybe that is allowing you to maybe just recoil and not sure how to. You don't want to swim with the tide, but you're not really trying to swim against the tide, but you are trying to be in your own flow state, I feel like. And it's like, how many more masks can I wear to fit in? Because the mask is getting heavy and it's slipping. And it's slipping because that's my subconscious wanting to do that. It's wanting to release this expectation or lack of authenticity that I found myself in. I think this is a message we all feel. And I feel like sometimes time's getting faster. I feel like the more we're realizing how much growth we could potentially grow into, not because we need to grow as in out of a stuck energy, but because we have such an appetite and desire to start fully expressing ourselves. And so there's like a gap between what it is that we're trying to figure out for ourselves. How do we show up for ourselves? How do we still show up for others? Because that's part of our MO as well. But when we do show up as ourselves and for others, there seems to be a disconnect. Like the message isn't fully received. And let's just see what Tarot has to say about this. Actually, before I do that, let's get an oil for the group collective. Let's get an oil. Whoa, I think that's too many. Let's try again. Let's get an oil for the collective. Okay. Psychic protection. Detach the need to be a psychic sponge. And you know, that's another element too. I know I found this to be true in my reality. Maybe you'll resonate. And it's not so much psychic protection from any sort of low vibing energies, but sometimes we let people's opinions of our lives get inside our head, right? And it kind of can deflate us, trigger us. And I know for myself, as much as I fly the flag for freedom, that's definitely my biggest driver in life. And, you know, people, my family and friends probably don't always resonate fully with what I'm trying to do with my life, but I know that it's always wrapped in freedom. And that's my biggest motivator, where others would probably want to rush in and maybe change that about me. Maybe I go against the grain in their minds. And it's not that intentional. It's not to go against the grain for that point, but it's just because I have this calling that I'm always trying to explore. And yeah, sometimes it's slow start, stop, start. But I know that I have an ownership of my story, and that story might not fit into the minds of others. And so it is kind of just being weary of how much vulnerability you show to the people around you. And it's not because they consciously wish you unwell. It's that they're operating from their own fear factor, right? And their own belief systems. And they couldn't possibly understand your intention for your life. And that's okay. They're not supposed to. That's your job, right? But you just have to own that power that you have within, that you are unique, you are different. And that is exactly why you're here, and that's what you signed up for. So it's regaining your power in what your next shift will be. How do you let the mask slip? And how do you go from being stalled by the projection of others and getting your traction? Like, where are you shape-shifting into? What's your next move? What is this vision that you're seeing? Because you're hearing whispers of it, you know it's there, and it's literally really trying to get that voice more louder than the projection of others. So let's see what Tarot has. The Empress. Oof, wow. The High Priestess. Nine of Wands, yeah, boundaries. The Star, my favorite card. Six of Wands. The Fool, yes. And I'm going to put one card for each pile as we go along. And bottom of the deck, Four of Cups. Yeah, so that's kind of that energy that you're feeling now. It's like, how do you get traction? Because what's being offered up to you in your reality is the opposite of how it's making you feel. And that's the biggest compass we have, that internal guidance that's always showing us what's not for us. It's that you have to remember you're heart-centered, and whatever makes you happy expands you, and what doesn't make you happy contracts you. So it's like you're picking your own target. And I almost feel like there's a nod to the evil eye energy, you know, for protection, for psychic protection. It's that just sit in your own grid, your own intention. You know what it is that you want. You know what fills those cups up. That's your community, that's your tribe. And then when the outside world keeps offering you to drink the Kool-Aid, for lack of a better expression, you're just not interested. And so this apathy for the outside world is causing the people around you maybe even more of a turbulent effect, because they just don't understand, and it's not their fault, and it's not your fault either. It's that you're just trying to remember what it is that you came here to do. And with Empress and the High Priestess, wow. I feel like the High Priestess is like the Empress grounded. It's like she's always dropping those downloads in, right? She always has your back. Even when you don't understand the intention, you know that energy is always there, whispering to you, always. And the Empress energy is about you grounding it into your own reality. It's listening to your own frequency, tuning in, tapping in, and watching what it is that you want to grow. It's like these Three of Cups are now the seeds that you've already planted, and maybe the quantum or your manifestation work. It's starting to grow, and they're blooming, and they're filling you up with this almost antennae of your High Priestess. So it's less hard for you to reach that space now. You're practiced. You're almost, even with the colors here of this evil eye, you're almost like wearing it like a wrap. You know how to protect your energy, and you know how to manifest now. Or if you don't know yet, that's where you're being pointed to. That's your next shift. It's like trusting that guidance and allowing the reality of that to come into the 3D. And if we look at minding the clutch, I feel like this is a perfect scenario of it. If you are a light worker, healer, an empath, anyone that can get drained by their boundaries being crossed, introverts, it is about boundaries, but you do have resilience. The resilience is that even though the people around you may drain you or even fatigue you of your own dreams, it's that you're nearly there. This is who you are. This is what you're becoming, and you might just have had to go through a few evolutions of this story to really peg those boundaries in. And it is about becoming conscious of them. And the work for you is literally always anchoring in who you are and who you're not. And the stronger you hold that in your frequency of who you are, this perimeter gets stronger. It just becomes in your grid, and it's less about shutting things out, and it's about more allowing what's for you in. And it's a lot more subtle than doing the slog and doing the hard work. There is a lesson about letting the mask down, or letting it go, or even giving other people's problems back to them. Sometimes you probably are a mirror for others around you, and they're not sure they like what they see, and so they resist it immediately without even thinking about it. But somewhere inside their own psyche and their own coding, they know that there's something, what you are saying, to be true. It's that they haven't quite reached the same ascension maybe, or they just haven't got to grips with some of your concepts. They're not too far out of that frequency though, so you are still being a lighthouse for them. But I think that when you start owning your boundaries and really channeling who it is that you're meant to be, and snapping away from this restraint that you might have, that's when you are able to show up more authentically. And guess what? That's when you start shifting into a whole new reality. And so you definitely are coming out of some heavy stuff, but the heavy stuff has totally been for your benefit. It was always for you. So whether you had to get really sick and tired of this energy and just kind of give all of these belief systems back to whoever set them up for you in the beginning, we're all victims of that, from, you know, life, teachers, parents, whatever. But you are now in charge of a brand new reality. You're going to start really downloading this wants and desires that you have for yourself, grounding them into possibilities, watching them grow. And then when you've outgrown that, guess what? You know that there's another evolution. There's new hopes, new wishes, new ways to show up for yourself, and it never ends. And so she doesn't have her rose-colored glasses on because she is in that frequency of full surprise and delight, and she's empowered to know what's coming her way. She doesn't necessarily need to know, because she trusts. She trusts that what's for her will come to her, but also in the sense that she also knows that sometimes we have that human experience and we can always fall back into some of these traps. That's why you've got the Nine of Wands. It's, you know, it's a cycle. It comes and goes. You just get better at rebounding. And that's when you do pop your rose-colored glasses on, because it's perfectly okay to not accept the reality that you're seeing. And it's not about sticking your head in the sand in a low vibrational way, but it's about going, I create my reality. I don't need to see for what it is, because I know that my current reality is just a memory of my past experiences that's now come live at this moment in time. So I'm shifting into possibility now, and I feel that, I love that, but there will be a time when I'll need to reshift again, and I'm going to take that memory with me. Okay, let's see if we can clarify anything before we go to the pick of cards. Okay, what is it that I want to clarify? I want to ask the question because I don't want to see what's next, because I'm going to allow those cards to speak for it. But I just want to know, what final message does the collective watching this reading, why was this reading important to come out now? Why now is this message important? Why now was this message important? Bottom of the deck, Tower. Okay, interesting. Four of Wands, Three of Wands, Two of Wands. Oh my God, it's almost like in reverse. I feel like the Tower wants to sit there. It's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like this shift is happening. So maybe there might be even a chapter in your life right now that's called you to this message because you have been feeling really drained and low and you can't get traction. But the shift is here, and it may follow a Tower moment, but trust that the Tower moment is in your best interest, and that it's now beckoning you to redesign your life, to rebuild this tower, but not on false promises and the expectations of others. It's that you get to see your horizon, you choose your destiny, and you take the leap of faith and trust in that possibility. Wow, okay. So now I am going to let you pick your piles. So I will rearrange these cards for you, and I will see you in the reading. Okay, so we have pile 1, which was at the top, pile 2, which was in the middle, and pile 3, which was at the bottom if you were eyeing them up during the reading. And I will see you in the timestamps below. Okay, pile 1, so which oil do you have? Awakes identity. Raises self-worth, acceptance, self-confidence, and self-forgiveness. Perfect. I love that. It's exactly what we're kind of talking about. It's that No one ever knows you more than you know yourself. And even when you doubt that on some days, still, no one else can know you better than you know yourself. And that's important to own, because if you don't own your story, someone else is going to own your story for you. You also have aeroplane as the charm. I'm not sure why yet. And you have the hermit. Okay. So if you're taking flight at something, maybe there is that possibility of maybe it's not a literal flight, maybe it is this continuation of the full journey. Maybe you're ready to take your craft, your gifts out of your isolation. Maybe you've been isolating them because you've been nurturing them. Maybe you've been isolating them because you have the fear of other people's judgment, because you are here to raise self-worth, self-acceptance, self-confidence, and self-forgiveness. So it's also about letting yourself off the hook. I actually love this continuation between 39 and 40 in the oils. I like that as a kind of like a reprieve from the 5432 tower moment. It's that when you awaken your identity and you keep your, hermit energy is a good energy to have when you're manifesting, because even though it feels like you might be holding your gifts in isolation or even keeping them imprisoned, which is how it feels when it's out of balance, there is an option here of actually protecting your dream as well from the psychic protection, like the psychic attacks. It's like, don't vocalize your dreams too much to people that have no comprehension on how to understand them, because unfortunately they will get inside our heads, right? So it's just wearing your intuition and owning it and holding your own torch up to your own light and your own gifts, and take flight. How do you fly that? Maybe you need to fly digitally. Maybe you need to show up. It's like you're shifting another frequency either way. You're either elevating your frequency, you're literally taking a flight or a new destination. Maybe your dreams are calling you to a new place. Listen to that. It is waking up. So for some reason there is, it's like, that's fast travel. Like that's kind of like the fastest travel we have as humans at the moment. Well, accessible to humans at the moment. So yeah, let's get 3 cards for pile 1. Two and one more. You've got the 9 of Wands at the bottom again, so you're definitely pushing through that. You've got 3 of Pentacles, you've got the Queen of Swords, and you've got the Ace of Wands. So perfect. It's like cutting away this delicate web of self-doubt, self-belief, imposter syndrome, or lack of confidence. Just cut away through that. Like it's easy to set the intention and the rules for yourself when you gain awareness. And that's why I love tarot readings, because they somehow allow your subconscious to consider these as an option. So whether a reading resonates with you or not, like there's always something in it. There's a reason why you're called to it. So even if you don't understand fully how that intention works, trust that your subconscious is already rearranging the furniture for you. And your intention is to start owning yourself, awaken your identity. Queen of Swords she doesn't take any prisoners. Like she's all about her mission, and it's a strong energy. You've got 3 of Pentacles. So yeah, there is a collaboration either between you, your dream, your High Priestess, or the Empress energy, where you're starting to bring it into tangible concepts. Like I said in the beginning, you're bringing that High Priestess and grounding it into Empress. It's like, taking the quantum into the 3D. And what's interesting, actually, I just didn't realize the symmetry there. You've got the Ace of Wands. So if you have already passed your Tower moment and you are ready to take this accelerated flight, Ace of Wands is also quite synchronistic, don't you think? That it's been handed to you. So no longer do you look for reasons around you to block your vision and get inside your head. It's that you see every opportunity now as another way to shift and level up your purpose. It's like divine spark. It's there. Pile one, I love it. Let me just give another inhale to pine energy. Just think of pine trees growing up tall, strong, straight to the light, no messing about. They don't get in anyone else's way, and they don't need to have anyone get in their way. It's like they're on a mission, and I love that. So pile one, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.
Pile two, so let's have a look. You have eucalyptus, pioneer, pioneering spirit, discoverer, freedom, lifts blockages and stagnation. You couldn't make this stuff up. Perfect. You are totally a pioneer. That's why you're ending with this full energy. You're ready to shapeshift. You're ready to give all the conditions of the 3D world back to them. Not interested. I want to make my own path. I'm ready to clear and lift the stagnation that I may have imprisoned myself in. That's okay. I forgive myself. And your card is 10 of Wands. Oh my God, I love that. So it's like you've reached the cycle. You are, from your 9 of Wands here, you are done. You're done being part of everyone else's ideas of you. You're bringing your own balance into it. You're starting anew. You're ready to jump. You had the charm bus or school bus. So that could mean that you are either willing to take a tribe somewhere with you. Maybe you have an audience, maybe you're manifesting an audience, or maybe you're going back to school and relearning something that you maybe had let go in the past. Maybe there was different burdens in your life that couldn't allow you to enroll in school or a course or a new way of elevating yourself. But you're ready, you're doing it, it's happening. So I wonder what else, pioneer. Yeah, it's like, also, you know, we make that expression about the subconscious driving the bus. Maybe you are taking more of a conscious awareness of your circumstances. I think when you complete cycles, you've gained all the awareness you needed to complete the cycle. So it's like maybe you're taking more control of driving your own bus instead of letting your subconscious beliefs take care of the show, you know. It's you're taking up more mental capacity and intention for your own life. I guess it's like minding the clutch. So there's another reference to driving. It's like, you know, to gain traction for, you know, a bus is even, you know, has the capacity to hold a bigger dream, a bigger engine. It's that you are now relearning how to drive such a bigger dream, I guess, is the metaphysical expression that I'm trying to explain here. You've leveled up your energy, you've doubled your horsepower. But let's get a couple of tarot cards for more awareness. More. See, you've got 3 of Cups, so that's a community. Oh, there we go. Judgment. 2. Okay, 2 more. And bottom of the deck is Knight of Wands. So you have Page of Swords, King of Wands. Wow. You know what you're shifting? You're shifting out of this energy. It's that, you know, like we made a reference to the school bus, or even if you were going to study again, but it could also be for some of you that you've been doing the schoolwork, you've been learning, you've been, you know, researching, you've been gaining mentors. And maybe now it's to realize that you're becoming your own mentor and that maybe you're here to pass some wisdom on. That's why you have a capacity for a tribe. I feel like you are meeting your soul tribe, a tribe that understands all of your belief systems. And it's like you're waking not only yourself up, but you're waking up your mini collective, a collective you get to reach because you've learned all the lessons that others are struggling with too. So it's that now you get to have mentorees, and you no longer need to be that student all the time. I mean, we always are going to be students, but it's that you need to elevate into your King of Wands now, because Page of Swords, it's no longer about sitting around watching. And I guess with minding the clutch as well, it's like you're not staying in the shadows, you're going full throttle because you have Knight of Wands at the bottom. So that's like the fastest card in the deck. So pile 2, you're shifting. That's what it is. That's what all these lessons were for in the past. And yeah, wake up time, self-actualization, self-realization. And whatever it is, you're going to be delivering it to the world. Whatever you've been manifesting on this mat, those 3 of Cups that you knew would fill you up, is here. It's here. It's here. Okay, pile 2, that's all I have for you, and thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.
Okay, pile 3, hi, you have Marjoram Sweet. Lovely. And the characteristics of that is comfort. Reminds you that you are not alone, the universe has your back. Yeah, because when we're in this energy where no one gets our dreams, and you know, sometimes building dreams is a struggle, right? But yeah, it's so intoxicating and seductive to want to follow them. And I think sometimes, I know this probably sounds a bit judgmental, but not everyone follows their dreams. A lot of people can still find themselves in a comfort zone. But I feel like for you, you've been shouldering that for yourself. You've decided that you want more. And it can be lonely sometimes. I know I experience this too because I run my own business. And in the beginning, my parents were obviously concerned, especially when it's in this woohoo world. But, you know, everyone has an opinion, as I've already previously discussed in their reading. But I think what you know to be true is that not only that inner voice that you have, your higher self is there, has your back, the universe has your back, and you know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But it's just remembering sometimes. Sometimes we forget. So you have the Emperor. Oh, wow. Whew. Nice, powerful energy. And your charm was backpack. So I think with the backpack and the universe has your back, it's just a reminder that all these, you know, it's not baggage in the sense that it's low vibrational, but baggage in the sense that we've got a whole life story behind us, and they've always been in our highest good. And when we are able to take all of that wisdom and knowledge with us and alchemize it into our authentic self and bring the blessings through, that's when we can alchemize our own journey. And that's when you start to change this power, because, you know, an out of balanced Empress can feel a bit like this, right? Where you're kind of feeling drained by giving too much. But then the Emperor comes in and goes, excuse me, I know exactly who I am. I am full of love. I get to dispense it the way I want. I'm an abundant flow of it, but I am very focused and concentrated, and I prune back some of the debris that doesn't serve me. What's interesting actually, and you know, sometimes, well, one of the reasons I did this way of a reading where I do the pick of cards at the end was because sometimes there's always overlaps in some of the readings. But here again, we're, you know, more fool me, but this necklace with this bus on it, the actual charm for pile 2 was a bus. So maybe there's some messages in there for you. But yeah, I feel like this is perfect balanced energy now. And it was hinted, right? When you've got the high priestess, like the universe literally has your back, and your dream is sitting in your lap, whether it's a laptop, it's a, art, it's whatever it is, it's healing. You've got all the tools, and now you're taking pure ownership of it. So whether you're even trying to turn all of this into a business somehow, I feel like the cards are giving you the best versions and support systems and messages and synchronicities and confirmations for you to take the lead of your life. Because like I said, not everyone has the courage to follow their dreams, and sometimes fortitude values the brave. So be brave, pile 3. But let's get 3 more cards for any more messages for you. Pile 3. One more. Knight of Swords, and bottom of the deck is 6 of Swords. Well, you've got the High Priestess twice. And you've got 2 of Swords and Knight of Swords. I think the final message for you is there is no one else to ask about your life. That's another echo. It's like you've got 2 High Priestess. So even though your divine counterpart, or this is your femininity and your masculinity in perfect sync, and having that pillar between the High Priestess is a reminder that whenever you're in doubt and you have to make a decision, close your eyes, tap in, tune in, and then press play. Don't stall your engine and don't rev ahead. Always, you can charge forward when it's inspired action, but don't charge forward when you're just trying to give it welly, as we would say in the UK, giving it throttle, like giving it clout when you're in doubt, It's that this is where your gifts lie. This is where your intuition is the loudest, and this is where your dreams come into reality. Go to the quantum first, feel it, think it, embody it, and the rest is up to the universe. It will deliver. It will tools and downloads that you need. Yeah, that's epic, pile 3. So you are definitely shifting into the empowered version of your beautiful soft self. It's like a soft strength. It's the most powerful strength is soft strength. It's when knowing to pause and play, and yeah. So pile 3, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks a million.